In this video, I'm gonna show you how we've helped generate over 22 million app downloads with UGC across short-form content platforms like TikTok, Reels, YouTube Shorts, you name it. No overpriced influencer deals, no million-dollar ad budgets, just a proven system that turns organic videos into predictable downloads. In this video, I'm gonna break down the exact 5-step process we use, from how we find and vet creators that actually perform, to the testing framework that finds winners, all the way to scaling those winners into paid ads that keep driving installs for months. So let's get into it. Section 1, so this is the first part, is the creator system. So here's what most people get wrong with UGC right from the jump. They hire a handful of creators, film some videos, post them, and wonder why nothing takes off. The content might even be decent, but they skipped the foundation that makes everything else work. Before we ever post a single piece of content, we need to build a full creator operation. It's the foundation underneath every successful campaign we've ever run, and if you skip this step, nothing I teach you after this will matter. Most brands hire 3 to 5 creators, get 20 videos out of them, and call it a UGC test, but that's not really a test, that's a coin flip. And if nothing works here, that's like throwing a coin up in the air, not getting the result you want, and saying that coins don't work. It doesn't make any sense. So the real bottleneck is not finding creators. That's actually the more manageable part. The problem is managing the creators. Getting 10 to 15 people to post consistently every day, follow briefs, and hit quality standards is an operational nightmare that eats all of your time. So if you don't have a system for sourcing, vetting, briefing, and replacing creators quickly, your content machine dies the moment 1 or 2 of them ghost you. Here's how we set up the operation the right way so you can start producing volume from day one. You need to recruit creators in the 1,000 to 50,000 follower range. These are usually people who are already posting, are already creating some content because they enjoy it. Depending on their follower count, they're usually charismatic, comfortable on camera. They already post consistently, like 3 to 5 times a week. We specifically find them. We have official partners like SiteShift, which is honestly the best option out there to get quality creators. But you also have TikTok searches where you can reach out to them directly. You have freelance communities. And then in our specific case, we have our own talent sourcing team that runs outbound across email, social, and DMs, and our own kind of creator community. But for you, what I would recommend is go on SiteShift, get the best creators you can from there, have someone do some outreach for you, like 100 DMs a day over on TikTok for creators that match the criteria you're looking for. Now, every applicant you find that is a good fit needs to go through a strict vetting process. I understand you might be in a rush to get started, but cutting corners here is actually going to hurt you a lot more in the long run because you're not going to be able to get the right people. So you need to check their lifetime organic views. So how many organic views they've gotten in the lifetime of their career. And you need to require a test video to prove that they have natural energy and that they can follow directions. Make sure you have some specific requirements for the test video so that you get validation on whether or not they can follow the direction. What we do is we filter for mainly 3 things: camera charisma, good lighting, and consistency. If they can't deliver a solid test video within 24 hours, max 48, they're cut. There's no second chances there. And once they're in, every creator gets prescriptive modular briefs. What does modular mean? It means that they can adapt based on what they're working on, but they never improvise from zero, right? So we hand them the exact hook, script, structure, pacing, and kind of CTA to use, whether it's in the middle of the video and the end of the video. And we operate with a next man up mentality. So we always over recruit so that there's a deep bench of vetted creators ready to rotate. You know, if someone underperforms or if they start missing deadlines. Now, if you set this up correctly, you'll get a creator team that can actually produce volume. But the problem is creators without the system are just people with cameras, right? So you can't trust them to actually set up the system. You need to do it for them. And this brings me to point 2, which is the modular brief, which is the input. Most brands create UGC content like it's an art project, something creative. They have one creator, one script, one video, and they pray that things go viral. And that just doesn't get you anywhere, at least not anywhere near millions of downloads. So the people actually scaling aren't focused on making prettier, well-polished content. They're focused on running experiments, controlled experiments, meaning every video actually works as a data point, and it stops being a lucky guess the moment you can actually use the data you get from a video to improve the next one. So volume is only useful if you have a feedback loop. Now, the problem with traditional UGC is when you write a full script and hand it to one creator, you have zero idea what actually worked. What was the hook? Was the body? Was the creator's face? Was the background? You can't really isolate any variables, and that's why you need several creators doing sort of the same thing so you can isolate what's working and what's not. And then creative fatigue is the #1 killer of paid user acquisition campaigns. This is crazy because if you can't produce hundreds of new creatives a week, your CPMs will keep rising, your costs per install will keep going up, and your competitors, which are now younger and younger that understand organic content, are going to, quite frankly, eat your lunch. So you need to create create testable content. One shift alone allows you to understand exactly what's working, why it's working, and how to repeat it. You stop being at the mercy of the algorithm and start making decisions based on real numbers. So every UGC video should be broken into 4 interchangeable blocks. Block 1 is the hook, the first 3 seconds, 0 to 3 seconds, 12 words max, and no mention of any product or brand. Block 2 is the problem. So you have from 3 to roughly 10 seconds, 20 to 30 words, and you need to hit a niche specific pain point so that the viewer feels it in their gut, right? Block 3 is the solution. So that's 10 to 15 seconds. Depending on the script, you can also do kind of foreshadow, so expand on the story and then go into the solution. This is where you're going to actually demo the product and show what the solution is you found. And then block 4 is the CTA, which needs to be under 3 seconds. That's it. So the total video length would be, I'd say, around a minute, depending on the creator you have. And you can do like POV, talking head, green screen, etc. So for every creator, we actually run several different hooks on the same kind of story. So there's like one shared fear, one curiosity, one benefit, and the hook drives about 70-80% of the whole performance. Most of your focus needs to be there. Then you need to have kill criteria. What gets a video, what gets a creator actually get cut in terms of that video being cut from being tested again? Usually it's things like missing the guidelines, like a delivery that's just monotone, bad lighting, mistimed captions, all these things. If there's any of these, the video just shouldn't even go live. If you just turn this into a system, simple system, that you'll turn your content creation from guesswork into actually manufacturing. And you're not hoping for a hit, you'll be engineering the conditions for one, which is very different. It becomes a matter of time and volume. And everything I just walked you through, like the creator system, the modular brief, the testing matrix, these are the exact systems we use when we manage UGC for apps full service. We've helped generate over 22 million downloads across 200 apps, and we've typically seen this approach cut CPI by 30 to 50% when your organic winners get turned into paid ads. So if you're an app founder or a growth lead and you're already spending 10 to 50K a month on ads and your creatives keep dying, or you're running into issues with your creator team, we will build this entire system for you. So we handle the creators, the briefs, the testing, scaling, all of it. Make sure to click the link in the description below to apply, and let's get back into the framework. Point 3 is the 100-to-1 rule. No one talks about this. No one wants to hear this when it comes to implementing UGC creators to scale their brand. And it's that you need volume to succeed. I don't mean like post a couple times a day volume. You need to overwhelm the algorithm's randomness with so much content, with a specific framework you're following, that the winners reveal themselves statistically. Again, it becomes a matter of time and volume. You'll end up not trying to like predict what goes viral and come up with the best idea. You're just posting enough volume, following the main rules that the algorithm will tell you what works. So the winners will surface themselves. So what's the 100-to-1 rule? Is out of every 100 videos, probably one will break out. But that single video can drive more installs than the other 99 combined, right? So what you do next is you repeat the system. Now you get everyone doing 100 more videos similar to the one that broke out, and you keep going like this. You need to implement this rule, because if you only post maybe 5 to 10 videos a week, you'll only find a winner once every 3 months if you're lucky. This is the exact part in scaling with UGC that separates people who try UGC from people who actually build a proper UGC machine that generates views and installs. If you evaluate everything at about 24 to 48 hours, anything over 10,000 views is a breakout. Over 100,000 views is a viral hit. You need to watch for the 3-second view rate above 50%. Obviously, you know, assuming that your video is long enough. Completion will be lower the longer your video is, but that's okay. And then you need to try it daily. Under 300 views across multiple posts, that's just a hook problem. You don't need to worry about anything else. And if you have anything hit 5K, you need to just iterate on pacing and some things in the story to improve retention. And then over 10,000 views or with high intent comments, you need to replicate it ruthlessly. Once you do this, you'll be identifying your winners quite frequently, but there's still a specific process to take a viral post and turn it into an evergreen ad that keeps driving installs for months. So that takes me to point 4, which is the scale. Relying on organic UGC alone didn't get us to over 22 million downloads and 1.6 billion views across our clients. Those are just the kind of direct benefits of UGC, but then you have the indirect benefits, which in my opinion are much bigger. Organic is where you find winners, but all of the ads doing $1 million plus per month are scaling with paid ads. So it's paid ads where you really start to take off. There are 3 levels between organic and paid, and jumping straight to starting with paid, in my opinion, is how you end up right back where you started, bleeding out your ad budget. Flag winners organically, take those winners and plug them into paid. There's specific ways you can get an editor. For example, if you have like viral hits that don't drive installs, you can have an editor plug in a product demo and still run that as an ad. My point is, if anything gets traffic organically, you need to somehow turn that into an ad. That's the best way to do it. And then yeah, obviously the kind of cross-platform posting. So one video can become 5-10 posts if you cross-post that one into different platforms. And on top of that, that one video, if it proves itself to be a winner, it has signs that it could be a winner, you just turn it into paid ads. So that's how you really build leverage with the UGC you're doing. Now, point 5, which is the conversion. So views don't equal installs. Everyone knows this. I've seen accounts get like 2 million views in a week and drive less than 100 installs. And I've seen accounts with a fraction of those. Well, actually, we just had a client do this with 20,000 views that kind of 4x their daily trials, which is insane. So the difference is what happens after someone watches the video. So a lot of UGC creators have zero understanding of how to make a product sell, and that's what you need to teach them. A viral video is, you need to tell them, is not valuable if it's not product centric. If people after watching the video don't understand what the product does. And this is what you pitch creators. And obviously you can adjust the strategy and have some videos more for awareness, some videos more for conversion. We have a specific way to do it, but the main point is they need to understand, if you do this well, and if your views are converting to installs, we will give you more. We will give you bonuses, we'll give you more deals, etc. You can also pin an explainer or demo video to the top of every creator profile. So like a green screen video walking through the app, those will typically not get many views, but if you pin them on a profile, then everyone that goes into that creator's profile is going to be watching that bottom of funnel video, so that's a higher chance for conversion. Then active comment management, this is huge. So replying to comments, making people have conversations or debates in the comments, plugging in the app in the comments, very important. And then just tracking mainly what your views are and then what your installs are. Those are the main 2 metrics, and you need to make sure you're correlating them. In days where you get a high spike of views, you need to see if that correlates to a high spike in downloads, and that's how you'll iterate in the conversion side. This is the exact 5-step system we've used to help generate over 2 million downloads across 200 apps. And if you're looking to have this exact system implemented for your own app in order to drive downloads, then make sure to apply to work with us in the link in the description. We'll build and run this entire system for your app while managing everything. Thank you for watching.